of this 2022 conference and retreat of the Nigerian Police Force for senior officers. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, as is his tradition, is exchanging pleasantries with all of the very important persons are seated right here. And of course, if you know him and you know him well, that is something you would expect when he walks into an event, a people person that he is. But as we speak, he has made his way to his seat, and this is a cue that all of us should please rise for the National Anthem. Thank you very much. I'll please request that we remain on our feet and say the opening prayers of this event. The opening prayers would be the second stanza of our national anthem. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we will please together say, O God of creation, direct our noble cause, guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow, and living just and true, great lofty heights attain, to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. Amen. Thank you very much. You may please be seated. Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please one more time, can I request that we take our seats, please? Thank you. Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari JCFR, represented on this occasion by the Honorable Minister of Police Affairs, Mohammed Begari Dingyadi. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, can we please put our hands together for the President's representative who is here with us. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you, sir. Your Excellency, the chief host of this event, the Governor of this beautiful state of Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Udom Emmanuel. Can we please put our hands together for His Excellency, the Governor? We recognize also especially another governor who is seated right here, who has come from quite some distance. His Excellency, the Governor of Ekiti State and Chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Kayode Fayemi is here. Please put your hands together for him, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, Mr. Moses Ekpo MFR, Deputy Governor of Akwa Ibom State, who is here in person. Please put your hands together for him, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome members of the National Assembly that are here. I would please crave indulgence. I will single out the Chairman of the Senate Committee on Police Affairs, Distinguished Senator Halilu Jika, who is here. Please put your hands together for him, ladies and gentlemen. Chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Police Affairs, Honorable Bello Usman Kumu is also here. Please put your hands together for him. We acknowledge the presence of and recognize the representative of the National Security Advisor, Sanusi Galadima, who is here at this event. Please put your hands together for him, ladies and gentlemen. The Inspector General of Police of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, IGP Usman Alkali Baba, PSC Daga, NPM FTC. Please put your hands together for him, ladies and gentlemen. The Executive Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Abdul Rashid Bawa, who is also here at this event. Please put your hands together for him, ladies and gentlemen. We recognize all Deputy Inspectors General of Police and other members of the Force Management Team. We welcome Secretary to the Akwa Ibom State Government, Dr. Emmanuel Ekwem, and all other members of the Akwa Ibom State Executive Council. We recognize and welcome all Assistant Inspectors General of Police and Commissioners of Police here present, service commanders from different security organizations and paramilitary services that are here, development partners, resource persons at this conference and retreat for senior police officers, UYO 2022, distinguished guests here present, members of the fourth estates of the realm, the press, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you. My name is Raphael Adam, Special Assistant to the Governor of Akwa Ibom State and Public Affairs, and by the privilege granted me by the Inspector General of Police through the Force Public Relations Officer, I will be working with him as Master of Ceremonies at this conference and retreat for senior police officers taking place today and tomorrow here at the Ibom Icon Hotel and Resort here in Akwa Ibom State. Let me therefore invite Commissioner of Police Frank Mba, the Nigerian Police Force Public Relations Officer, to kindly proceed with the rest of the event. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for him.
Your Excellencies, very distinguished guests, permit me to stand on the protocols already eloquently established by my colleague Raphael. An American writer and thinker, Alvin Toffler, many years ago said, and I quote, "The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read or write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn." J.F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States of America, went on even more succinctly to espouse the reinforcing relationship between leadership and learning when he said, and I quote, "Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other." Albert Einstein, the German-born scientist and the father of the theory of relativity, was even more punchy and more blunt when he said, "Once you stop learning, you start dying." These philosophical foundation and more provided a rationale for the leadership of the Nigerian police force to institutionalize a new culture of organizing yearly retreat and leadership forum for its very senior officers, comprising of the ranks of Commissioner of Police, Assistant Inspectors General of Police, Deputies Inspectors General of Police, And of course, with the Inspector General of Police, the head of the Nigerian Police Force himself, providing the needed guide. This retreat, which is the second of its kind, provides an opportunity for senior officers of the force, not just to network, but also for stock-taking, peer review, agenda setting, and most importantly, an opportunity to learn, unlearn, and relearn. It is on this note that I very warmly and respectfully, on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Akali Baba, PSC Daga, holder of the Nigerian Police Medal, and a fellow of the Defense College, and members of the Force Management Team, very heartily welcome you all to this second edition of the Annual Retreat and Leadership Conference of the Nigerian Police Force, taking place here at the beautiful city of Uyo in Akwa Ibom State. Without much ado, again, the responsibility falls on me to invite the Inspector General of Police, who will be delivering his welcome address and officially heralding the beginning of proceedings here. IGP Usman Akali Baba, who has provided an enabling environment for police officers to learn, unlearn, and relearn, himself is an astute scholar, a very versatile police officer. He holds a master's degree in public administration from the University of Maiduguri. He has served in all the 6 geopolitical zones in this country: the South-South geopolitical zone, the Southeast geopolitical zone, the Southwest geopolitical zone, the North-Central, the Northwest, and the Northeast geopolitical zones. He has a history and a record of having served in 27 out of the 36 states of the Federation. A former Commissioner of Police in charge of Delta State, former Commissioner of Police in charge of the Federal Capital Territory, former Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 4, where he provided leadership for commands in Benue, Nasarawa, and Plateau States, former Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 5, where he superintended over policing affairs in Edo, Delta, and Bayelsa States as it then was, former Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 7 with his headquarters in Abuja, where again he supervised policing activities in the Federal Capital Territory, Niger, and Kaduna States. Former Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of federal operations, former Force Secretary of the Nigerian Police Force, former Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of finance and administration, former Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of Criminal Investigation Department, and ultimately, the 21st Indigenous Inspector General of Police. The Inspector General of Police holds a policing vision of restoring the primacy of the Nigerian police force in internal security architecture through the provision of credible, motivational, and robust leadership anchored on professionalism and the rule of law. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to the podium IGP Usman Akali Baba, the 21st Indigenous Inspector General of Police.
Thank you, Ban. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by the Honorable Minister of Police Affairs, Alhaji Maigari Dengiade, the Katukan Sokoto, Your Excellency, the host governor, His Excellency Governor Udom Emmanuel, the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, His Excellency Dr. Kayode Fayemi, the Executive Governor of Ekiti State and Chairman Governors Forum, His Excellency Mr. Moses F. Ekpo, FFR, Deputy Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Distinguished Senator Hali Rijika, Chairman Senate Committee on Police Affairs, Honorable Bello Usman Kumo, Chairman House Committee on Police Affairs, other distinguished members of the National Assembly, the National Security Advisor, ably represented by Sunusi Galadima, Abdurrashid Bawa, Chairman Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, ably represented, the Deputy Inspectors General of Police, the Speaker, Akwa Ibom House of Assembly, Dr. Emmanuel Ikun, the Secretary to the Government of Akwa Ibom, other members of the Council of the Akwa Ibom State, conference participants who are senior police officers, service commanders who are present here, development partners and resource persons, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I most heartily welcome Your Excellencies, strategic security holders, stakeholders, and other dignitaries to this all-important conference and retreat for senior police officers of the Nigeria Police Force. The annual Nigeria Police Conference and Retreat is a unique event for the force. This is because it is a forum that attracts the largest gathering and broadest representation of senior police officers, with participants drawn from the force headquarters, formations, zonal headquarters, and the state command level across the 36 states and the FCT. By this rich array of participants and other broad and diverse experiences, this event is the richest and the most rewarding professional engagement of the Nigeria Police Force. Gathered here today for this two-day event in the beautiful, friendly, and peaceful city of Uyo are officers occupying strategic leadership position in the Nigeria Police Force. These comprises of commissioners of police, assistant inspectors generals of police, and deputy inspector generals of police. Our purpose for this event is threefold. Firstly, in line with the theme of the event, which is the new police vision, a roadmap for stabilizing internal security, we intend to utilize this forum to review our policing vision, mission, and strategies as laid out following my appointment as the 21st Indigenous Inspector General of Police, as well as assess the police reform initiative of the federal government and the post leadership. This is with a view to aligning them to our current evolving policing and internal security realities. Secondly, we hope to undertake a holistic assessment of the current internal security threats and crime dynamics in the country, identify factors that's endangering crimes, reevaluate our strategies, identify operational gaps, and evolve new pathways to strengthen existing strategies towards meeting our sacred obligation to the citizens of this country. Thirdly, this retreat and conference will avail participating police officers of the opportunity to draw on the expertise of seasoned facilitators and resource persons and rich professional knowledge of the area of police officers here gathered to broaden and strengthen their critical thinking and strategic leadership ability. It is also our expectation that we shall leverage on the network to be established at the event to enhance professional peer review towards endangering a broader understanding of our mandate and strengthen our administrative and professional capacity. Permit me to, at this stage, briefly reflect on the theme of the conference, which, as earlier highlighted, is the new policing vision, a roadmap for stabilizing internal security. Since the theme is woven around the new policing vision, the natural question that follows is, what really is the new vision? To respond to this posture, it must be acknowledged that any organization that lacks a vision has no purpose to justify its existence. Secondly, any organization that projects a vision but lacks strategic ways to advance the vision is bound for failure. Thirdly, the most significant way any organization that has a vision and pathways to achieve it but lacks the quality manpower based to advance the process of translating the vision to measurable outcome is also bound to lose its legitimacy. In cognizance of this reality, upon my assumption of leadership of the force, I undertook a comprehensive evaluation of our mandate, pattern and trends of crime, capabilities and gaps, expectations of the citizen and the federal government, our potentials and the existing strategies. The outcome of this exercise convinced me of the need to commence a police reform initiative that will be driven by a new policing theme, mission, vision, and strategies. Hence, I redefine our policing theme as to protect with courage and serve with compassion. While our new leadership vision is to restore police primacy in the internal security architecture of Nigeria and deliver to the nation a modernized, citizen-led, rule of law guided, and professional police force that Nigerians can truly trust and depend on to achieve the policing mandate enshrined in Section 4 and 5 of the Nigerian Police Act 2020. To achieve the above vision, we are focusing on the following missions. To achieve the following vision, we are focusing on the following missions. 1, integration of cutting-edge technology and intelligence-led policing model to our operational and investigation functions with a view to strengthening our capacity to stabilize the internal security order, discourage pretrial detention, and restore public confidence in the force. 2, give full effect to the concept of citizen-led policing by deepening the implementation of community policing strategy, addressing ethical and professional issues that impact on trust and partnership between the police and the public. Embrace the social content of policing in which police officers see themselves as compassionate servants of the citizens. And 3, take the lead in strengthening interagency collaboration as a strategic pathway towards the attainment of our internal security mandate. We are also pursuing the mission attainment strategy that is built on the fundamentals of following: ethical regeneration, restoration of professional standards and enhancement of anti-corruption drive. 2, human rights-driven policing. And 3, adoption of intelligence-led guided and citizen-led policing models as the strategic approach to the management of current internal security threats. 4, training and strategic human capacity development is key, and we are going to pursue it with vigor. Enhancement of in-service and post-service personnel welfare, engagement and application of cutting-edge technology and international best practices of policing functions at all levels. Your Excellencies, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to note that through these latest leadership initiatives, a new focus and orientation are being entrenched into the mindset of officers of the force. And slowly but steadily, we are marching towards restoring the lost primacy of the Nigeria Police Force while also stabilizing the internal security space. It is my expectation, though, that this conference and retreat will further engage these issues in the most professional and critical manner, all with the intent to attain an outcome that will enrich the process of achieving our new policing vision and positively alter the policing narrative of Nigeria. In doing so, I wish to charge all our participants to take advantage of this unique opportunity to enrich their knowledge and command and control ability, which will be deployed in due course for the attainment of our election security mandate as we approach the general election season. Let me re-emphasize that the countdown to the general election will present new set of security challenges which will undoubtedly further task our professionalism. We must, as strategic police managers, on whose shoulders the task of ensuring a peaceful electoral process rests, be adequately prepared. It is my additional expectation that this conference and retreat will serve as a forum to also engage issues relating to our roles in the electoral process. Ladies and gentlemen, may I also seize this opportunity to reassure the entire citizens of this great country of our firm determination and clear vision to evolve a new police force for the nation. We shall continue to explore all available strategies in guaranteeing their security and safety. This is our mandate. It is therefore our obligation to attain it. We, however, solicit the continuous support of citizens and government. On this note, I wish to thank Mr. President, as ably represented by the Honorable Minister of Police Affairs, Alhaji Muhammad Maigari Dingyade, for the consistent support being extended to the post leadership and the unwavering commitment to the reform of the Nigeria Police Force. I also immensely appreciate His Excellency, Governor Udom Emmanuel, the amiable Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, for hosting this program. Your Excellency, you have, by this gesture, once again deepened your profile as one of the most law enforcement-friendly executive governors in the country. And the Nigeria Police deeply appreciates this goodwill. I most sincerely thank all our esteemed guests, especially the Executive Governor of Ekiti State, who is also the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, and pray that Almighty Allah grant you all journey mercy back to your respective destinations. I thank you all for your attention and look forward for a professionally rewarding conference and retreat. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Welcome remarks by the Inspector General of Police, IGP Osman Al-Khali Baba. Please put your hands together for him, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. A good number of us may know that barely 2 weeks ago, the IGP was here on an official engagement. In another 2 weeks, he has come back here for this conference. I think maybe in another 2 weeks, he will come back because he's beginning to love Akwa Ibom State so much. Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we're still here at this opening ceremony of this Nigeria Police Force Conference and Retreat for Senior Police Officers. We're going to take brief messages of goodwill from three different persons. The first, the chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Police Affairs. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Honorable Bello Usman Kumo as he comes up here to speak. Please put your hands together for him. Thank you very much.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Your Excellency, the President of the country, Muhammadu Buhari, ably represented by the Minister of Police Affairs, Your Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Your Excellency, the Governor of Ekiti State, who doubled as the Chairman of the Governors Forum, my leader, the Chairman of the Senate Committee on Police Affairs, the IGP, permit me to start with the existing protocol. The Nigerian Police Force is a constitutional body established by Section 214 of the Constitution with a primary aim of ensuring internal security. The powers and the functions of the force were specifically explained by Section 4 of the Police Act 2020. These two different sections of the Constitution and the Police Act specifically direct the Nigerian police to operate under a prescribed law of the National Assembly. My stand here as a parliamentarian, as the Chairman, House Committee on Police Affairs, is to reiterate the willingness to cooperate and partner with the Nigerian police as a parliament to ensure that we are both on the same page is ensuring internal security in our country. I can't take much of your time, but let me tell you, this ninth assembly, under the able leadership of Right Honorable Femi Bajabiamila, and indeed the chairman of National Assembly, who is Senator Ahmed Lawal, is one of, among other National Assembly sets, is one of the most friendly set of parliamentarians. Reason being that from 2004 to 2019, it is only this ninth assembly that deemed it fit to revisit, reenact, and repeal the Police Act. We want to appreciate the President of the country who deemed it fit to assent to that piece of legislation. If you're talking about reforming the police, you can't reform the police without a legislation. And we are very ready, more than ready, to continue amending, repealing the Police Act so that we can provide a legislation that will guide and ensure not only policing, but modern policing that is in tandem with the global practice. Let me quickly draw the attention of two bodies here. One, the government of the country under the able leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari. If what we are doing here and what we intend to achieve here, we are ready to achieve managing the internal security of the country, we can't do that without a proper, effective, and efficient budgetary provision or funding of the Nigerian police. The funding of Nigerian police by the government of the day is grossly inadequate. If the government is ready, you can only have an effective police if you are able to fund the police. I can tell you, it is this nice assembly. When we came on board in 2019, the capital component of the Nigerian police was only 11 billion. And the overhead of the police in 2019 was 18 billion. This nice assembly find it necessary to jack it up to 28 billion. Surprisingly and unfortunately, in 2022, which is the year that you prepare for the 2023 general election, the budget department of the country find it, I don't know what is their wisdom, but they reduce the overhead of the Nigerian police back to 18 billion as against 28 billion in 2021. What type of a country is this? How can you look at the most sensitive security agency in the land in the year preceding to an election, and it is this 2022 that you can do all the preparations for the transition from one government to another government, and you cut down their overhead, and you are trying to justify doing that, I think is not acceptable. If what we are doing here is exactly what we want to achieve in having the most effective, efficient police in the country. Having said this, then let me now, as a person who is privileged to oversight the police, draw the attention of the management of the police that even if it is 1 naira given to the police, we are expecting value for money. So as the parliament, we will continue to oversight you closely and will ensure that money given to you is judiciously spent with the single purpose of maintaining peace and internal security of our land. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Some very salient points raised there. And that message of goodwill from the chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Police Affairs, Honorable Bello Usman Kumo. Can we please put our hands together for him one more time, ladies and gentlemen? Let me invite for another brief message of goodwill, Chairman, Senate Committee on Police Affairs, Distinguished Senator Haliru Jika. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for him as he comes up here to present his message. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Rabbi Shrah li sadri wa yasir li amri wa ahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Good morning. Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, ably represented by the Honorable Minister of Police Affairs, Alhaji Muhammadu Megari Dingyadi, the Caretaker of Sokoto, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Dr. Udom Emmanuel, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Fayemi, and also the Chairman of the Governors Forum, Nigeria. The Inspector General of Police, Alhaji Usman Al-Kali Baba, and his management team, permit me to stand and to ride on the already established protocol. Even though my chairman was able to, that's my colleague, was able to address almost everything in isometric view, but nonetheless, I will seize the opportunity. I'm here on my capacity as the chairman of the Senate Committee and also representative of the chairman of the 9th National Assembly, that is Senator Dr. Ahmed Ibrahim Lawal, which in a short while I will read his message. But before I do that, I will seize the opportunity to congratulate my brother, the IGP, for his foresight and his capacity to implement the resolution of the 9th National Assembly to restructure the entire security architecture of Nigeria. Let me confess before you today, for me, I have served as a chairman of the House Committee in the 8th Assembly, as the chairman of the same committee. Now in Senate, I've worked with about 4 IGPs so far. But I will say this, that the committee has never enjoyed a smoothness and a symbiotic relationship with the committee like this time around. So IGP, we're really proud of you, and I congratulate the President for finding a square peg in a square hole. With your permission, I will go ahead and read the message of the Senate President. I'm delighted to join the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, His Excellency Udom Emmanuel, the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, and His Excellency Governor Fayemi of Ekiti State and Chairman of the Governors Forum, the Inspector General of Police, Alhaji Usman Al-Ghali Baba, to welcome you all to this 2-day conference and retreat with the theme, the new police vision, a roadmap for stabilizing internal security. The strategic leadership interaction among the senior officers of the Nigerian Police Force is commendable, especially with the unrelenting insecurity bedeviling our great nation, Nigeria. I believe this retreat represents an element of change required to reposition the topical issues of primary mandate and vision of Nigerian Police Force. The highlight of the new policing vision include, and I quote, deploying cutting-edge policing technology, integrating intelligence-led policing practice to our core policing function, with a view of strengthening police capacity to stabilize internal security order and restore public confidence in the force. This, I must say, is a laudable vision of the Inspector General of Police, and the National Assembly is ever willing to collaborate and synergize with you, as always, in achieving this vision. In addressing the national security challenges vis-a-vis its peculiarities in our various regions, through the Act of Parliament, we have enacted laws and other legislative activities to enhance good governance and effective policing. They are the Nigerian Police Act 2020, the Police Trust Fund Act 2019, the Nigerian Police Academy Establishment ETC 2020, still awaiting concurrence from the House of Representatives. Amendment of the Police Service Commission Establishment Act 2021, still receiving legislative attention, and a host of other corroboration by the National Assembly. Legislative oversight to the Ministry of Police Affairs, Nigeria Police Force Headquarters, Nigeria Police Trust Fund, and the Nigeria Police Academy. Ordeal. This is in line with Section 88 and Section 89 of the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, and the Senate Standing Orders, 2015. On behalf of the 9th Senate, I will again like to reassure you all of your commitment to create a better Nigeria by enacting legislation that will bring about good governance to doorstep of our citizenry for exclusive policing. I wish you all a brainstorming session. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
The distinguished Senator, deserves another round of applause. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, very senior officers of the Nigerian Police Force, the next to speak to us is a well-known face in public and political circles. He is Dr. Kayode Fayemi, the Executive Governor of Ekiti State, holder of the national honors of Commander of the Order of the Niger. He is the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, and arguably the most powerful, the most diversified, and the most inclusive interest group in Nigeria today. A former minister for Mines and Steel Development, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, is an established scholar. He holds a doctorate degree in War Studies from King's College, University of London, and he is a fellow of the Center for Peace and Conflict Studies, University of Ibadan. An accomplished researcher, his research and development interests include such thematic themes like constitutionalism, democratization, military civil relations, security sector reforms, and policing reforms itself. Like the host governor, he can be appropriately be described as a professional and a technocrat in the garb of politics. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podium the Executive Governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, CON.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Frank, for the very kind introduction. Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by the Honorable Minister of Police Affairs, Alajimeka Ridingedi. Your Excellency, my brother, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Dr. Udom Emmanuel. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Moses Ekpo. The most distinguished Senator of the Federal Republic and Chairman of Senate Committee on Police Affairs, Senator Jika, and the Honorable Member and Chairman of the Committee on Police Affairs and Belonging, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, and other Deputy Inspectors Generals here present, members of the Akwa Ibom State Executive Council, senior officers of the Nigerian Police, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press. I stand here before you with greetings from my brother governors, from the 34 other states that are not here with us. Of course, my brother, the host governor, is already fully in situ. But when the Inspector General of Police invited me and called me repeatedly till Sunday to confirm my attendance here, he made a great play at the fact that we are probably the single most united front that use the services of the Nigerian police more than others, the governors at the subnational level. And that for that reason, I cannot but be here. And I reassured the Inspector General of Police that he really shouldn't worry. I will make myself available. But I'm not just making myself available as a governor in solidarity with the police. I think it would be most appropriate to say I'm a policeman. And you may wonder why I say that. My first job leaving university was with the Nigerian police. Many people may not know that. I served with the Nigerian police under a very distinguished gentleman known as M.B. Wali, Commissioner of Police in Sokoto State. When I, as a young youth corps member, was posted to the police command in Sokoto and directed to go and teach at the police training school, Farfaro, in Sokoto State. And I've maintained my contact with police ever since that time. Needless to say, that must have contributed a great deal to my training as a scholar in security studies as well. But as chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, you know what the Constitution in Article 14, subsection 2 says about security and welfare as the primary responsibility of those of us elected into office by the Constitution of Nigeria. To that extent, there is no greater task than Nigerians, ordinary citizens, judge us by than the extent to which we have been able to provide security and safety for the citizens who have elected us into office. And our primary partner in this task is the Nigerian police. So when my brother, the chairman of the committee in the House of Representatives, was talking about the need to fund police adequately, and also talking about the inadequacy of police funding from the federal government of Nigeria, I whispered in the ears of my brother, the governor of Akwa Ibom State, that don't you know why the federal government is not doing as much as it should be doing? And he laughed. He said, well, we can't talk about that here, and we're not going to talk about it here. We would only just support Honorable Minister of Police Affairs in the task of delivering security and safety to Nigerian citizens by augmenting whatever he is doing and whatever our principal, the president, is doing at the federal level in our various states. And we are doing as much as we can, as much as the resources in our various states permit us to do now. But I must say that ever since the current Inspector General of Police took over the reins of office, we have been particularly delighted at the way he has taken the partnership with states. I knock on his door from time to time, not just on behalf of the security situation in my state, but also on behalf of my colleagues. And at no time did I bring any issue to his attention that he did not address expeditiously in the interest of safety and security in our various states. And I like what I am hearing about the vision of integrating cutting-edge technology into the work of policing. I also like his vision of citizens-led policing as very central to the very essence of what we have been preaching at the state level. And of course, we take to heart his interest and focus on interagency collaboration, because we see it firsthand in our various states, that if we do not bring together the various elements in the security sector and ensure that they work in synergy and collaboration, we hardly ever get the result that we all desire in the interest of our citizens. And by focusing on that and encouraging that happens, and avoiding needless inter-service, inter-agency rivalry. We want to reassure the Inspector General of Police that we will continue to stand with and by him in accomplishing the task that he has set for himself, particularly around ethical regeneration in policing and a human rights-driven police force, using intelligence, guidance in the most effective manner that is available. Of course, I'm sure the Inspector General of Police knows our views as governors on what we have always consistently described as multi-level policing, without discounting the importance of federal policing, which is always going to be important to us. We have always believed that another way to increase the efficiency of policing is to also develop a multi-level policing, not just state policing as many people like to focus on, but multi-level policing right down to local government policing. I know that the Inspector General has been doing some work, even previous Inspector Generals have done some work on community policing, but that is still nearly not enough as to what we would really like to see. But on behalf of my brother governors, I want to reassure the Inspector General of Police that Nigerian governors at the subnational level stand ready at all times to work with you, to support you, and to ensure that the task that has been set for you by Mr. President and that you have envisioned in your own charter is one that we would work with you on in order to accomplish a safe and secure environment for the citizens of Nigeria. We're not there yet, but we know that we will get there with concerted effort on the parts of all our people. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
That's the vintage scholar, politician, technocrat, and professional, Dr. Kayode Fayemi. He deserves a better round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be very briefly inviting to the podium a friend of the police, Oke Bakassi, to lighten up the mood in the hall.
I did not hear any round of applause. Is it because they didn't add my rank? All right, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's a rare privilege to be here. And let me also use this national platform to say that I've also decided to run. Just that I don't know where to run to yet. Every day I hear people are running, I don't know what is happening. Yes, it's good to be here. My name is Oke Bakassi, as earlier introduced. But to introduce myself properly, I'm also a man of one wife. I belong to a group of people who, very exclusive group of people who their wife control. Because once you hear neighbors gossip about you that this man, the wife is controlling him, know that they are living in peace. I don't know if you're the one controlling your wife. I wish you good luck. I know that there are people who also belong to a different particular group who have grace. Because if I follow the scriptures, the Bible says, he who finds a wife finds favor. Now, you can imagine the favor he who finds 4 wives will have, which is probably why Solomon is one of the wisest men in the Bible. He had 700 of them. So if you multiply his favor by 700, you see why he was the richest, the wisest. But I'm not advocating for you to take more wives, especially if you're a Christian. Nigerian women are not wired like that, especially when they are Christians. They can be very nice, but they will change it for you if you provoke them. Yes, they are very powerful people. I always say that. They are so powerful that any man who's married knows that when your wife offers you chair in your own house, the case is not in your favor. Once you have, honey, sit down, we have to discuss. Only you, they calculate, waiting I do. Did I forget anything in my pocket when I came back from Uyo? What is actually the problem now? Did anybody call my phone when I went to have my shower? You know. Meanwhile, she has not said what the problem is. Only you're guessing. That is how powerful they are. So I don't mess with them. I give them their due respect. Most times people say, okay, Bakassi, you've been doing stand-up comedy for 28 years. Are you ever serious? Yes, I'm serious sometimes, especially when I'm counting money. Or when I want to do transfer to someone, I'm very, very serious. I don't want the zeros to exceed the number of zeros I want to add. I'm an Igbo man. You can understand how we are with money. If you have ever been to an Igbo trader's shop after business when he's counting money, he's a very serious man. No distraction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You walk in, you say, good morning. He say, 25, my brother. There's no time to waste. We are serious like that. That is how we are. Recently, I've been talking to some of my police friends because I've been under pressure, actually. Some people are saying, okay, Bakassi, you're popular enough, you're old enough to run for political office. But when I explain to them that I don't have all the credentials required, they don't understand me. It's so painful to me that I have very good friends, high-ranking friends in the force, even in EFCC, but they have not deemed it fit, despite our friendship, to include me on the wanted people list on EFCC. Because I see that is a prerequisite for national fame. Because honestly, if any day they publish my name now, okay, Bakassi, wanted by EFCC for being in custody or misappropriating 10 billion, you will see the party in my village will now call me and say, okay, come, we want you to run for something. You know, because there's usually a belief that once EFCC puts you on their list, you get where you hide the money. Just that nobody has seen it. You understand? So that 10 billion they will be accusing me of now, their mindset will be, this guy hold. Journalists will be granting me interview. You know, they want to know more about me. So please, if any representative of the EFCC is here, please, the next list, I beg, can I make it? I beg. Just detain me, even if it's for a few days. You know? The thing will catapult me. Even banks will give me facility. You just walk into a bank, you say, I'm okay, Bakassi. You remember me on EFCC list, yes. I just need just 100 million. When I finish my case, you know there's money. And they will believe you. Anyways, I always say, if you've been following my materials, I say I love the Nigerian police. They are a very, very friendly police. If you've traveled around the world, you know what the problems they deal with in Nigeria is unique. There's problem everywhere. You know, overseas, they've solved most of their problems, so the police force is free enough to be checking people who are drunk. In Nigeria, problem plenty. We can't leave kidnappers, ritual killers, murderers, then we'll be checking people who are drunk on the way. That is the job in Nigeria we leave for people who work in the mortuary. Because if you drive drunk, you kill yourself, then they will attend to you. You should be able to borrow yourself sense as an adult to know what to do and what not to do. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I've been told that my time is rationed because we are live. But I will say that I don't blame myself if I've not been too close to the police, just that I've not had too many problems. Because in your line of business, people, on our customers, mainly na people will get problems. So if you're my friend here and you're in the police, you say, okay, you've not been visiting. It's just because I don't have problem. I'm not praying for one. I'm not praying for one. So if I've not been visiting your office, try and visit my own. Yes. Sometimes too, some of you notice that in Nigeria, there's another set of people who don't usually go to the police. Now people where their mama be winch. You see, one of the painful things about your mother not being a winch is that people take you for granted because they know you don't have backup. Because if your mama na winch or your papa na native doctor, people don't try you. They know that if they have problem with you, you will not report to the police, you will report to your grandfather. And that case is easier. All right. Having said that, I thank you, my very good friend Frank Mba, for always inviting me. Thank you very much. I'll save your time and we'll be back.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know whether because he said he doesn't have a lot of friends among the police. I think we can give him a better round of applause, please. Thank you very much, okay, Bakase. Thank you. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in the course of living, existing here in the African continent, we have more or less reached a consensus that there is a serious challenge of leadership in very many cadres of society. I personally believe that leadership, like ambition, should be made of sterner stuff. And we should have people who are selfless, who are focused, people who know how to do it. Like John Maxwell said, a leader is one who knows the way, shows the way, and goes the way. In Akwa Ibom, in the past 6 years and 9 months, we've been privileged to have a gentleman at the helm of affairs of this state who came to office prepared. A gentleman who knew where he was going and who has changed the story of Akwa Ibom in very many ways. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, like a lot of you already know, this is one, if not the most peaceful state in this country. Like you already know, this is a state that has attracted the second highest level of foreign direct investment in this country. Like you already know, this is the only state in this continent with its own airline, flying, thriving, and creating jobs. All of this is a function of a leadership that thinks, a leadership that knows where he's going. Let me therefore invite this 5-star gentleman who is currently leading the people of Akwa Ibom State, His Excellency, our host this afternoon, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Udom Emmanuel, to kindly come forward and present his remarks on this occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for him.
Shall we be seated? Thank you. Police band, thank you. I think I know how to play drums too. Your Excellency, our President, the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, aptly represented by Honorable Minister for Police Affairs, our Minister, Mohammed Maigari Dinjiadi. Your Excellency, our guy at the top, the Chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, very able Chairman, the Chairman in whom we are all pleased. You know, if we were not happy, by now you would have heard like 2-3 factions of Nigerian Governors Forum. But I think we are very happy with him, so we are one. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, the Chairman, Senate Committee on Police Affairs, and other distinguished senators, Chairman, House Committee on Police Affairs, and other members of the National Assembly here present, our brother, our friend, the 21st Inspector General of Police, representative of the National Security Advisors, all the DIGs here present, AIGs, the Secretary to Akwa Ibom State Government, the Chief of Staff, the Head of the Civil Service, ESCO members, all police commissioners here present, service commanders, Deputy Speaker, Akwa Ibom House of Assembly, and all members of Akwa Ibom House of Assembly, other brothers, invited guests, let me cut the protocol at that level, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I think I'm much, much more delighted to see this conference holding today in no other place than the only state. Raf, you forgot that one. The only state on planet Earth. You know, we're also known for something. America will say, the country with the largest economy. My brother, we are the only state on planet Earth named after God. So at least we have that one. So let me, on behalf of the government and good people of Akwa Ibom State, welcome our president, his representative, to our dear state. Let me also use this opportunity to thank the Inspector General of Police, our brother, IGP Usman Al-Kali Baba, and the entire hierarchy of the Nigerian Police for selecting Akwa Ibom, this beautiful, serene capital city of Uyo, as the venue of this retreat. I'm sure once you land at the airport, even the air you breathe is different. What you feel is completely different. The only thing we don't have is money. I want to say here that you have come to us because of who we are. A lot of people do not understand in our flag. You see the orange in there. It shows we are hospitable, we are welcoming, we are a land of delicious and enticing cuisines and people, and above all, peaceful and inviting, thus validating what most Nigerians and others who have visited our state have come to identify. I borrow those phrases from them. They keep telling us this is Nigeria's best kept secret so far. So this retreat is timely. Let me appreciate the contributions of the Chairman House Committee and also both human and electronic. And I'm glad that this approach appears to have taken ascendance among other items in crime-fighting toolbox of the security agencies. Without intelligence, we might not be able to do a whole lot. So we should also look, as a people, as we made in this conference, at other root causes, why people embrace criminal activities, especially amongst the youths. People, all of us, we have a role to play here. Every single person. It's not something just about only the federal. It's both the federal and all subnationals, and even individuals. You know, I try to explain to people, in those days when police are coming up on a jingle in the radio, he said, police is your friend. That friendship is that they need information, they need collaboration, they need other partners to work with. So we must all come together to rejig what we are doing right now and see what we can do much better. And I want to really assure the command, the police command in my state, and I believe all other governors can also tell you that. The reason my brother didn't want to disclose is that if you check, there's no single governor that does not put it on a front burner, the support for police everywhere. But we don't always come up with that. So we explained that without a microphone to the House of Assembly, that look, the police will need this, they will need that. Let me also place this on record and say our appreciation to the IGP. 2 weeks ago, he was here to commission an SPU base here that built, equipped with other infrastructure, even mobility as well, by the state government, in order to also aid the internal security of the police. And I really want to thank the IG for coming to commission that base. I think that will also help in many ways. And there are other many ways we hope we are going to be of help, of collaboration with the police in order to help few things that we can get right. But let me also say something. As it's been said earlier, this year is a little bit very challenging for internal security as we build towards the election year. I think this is the year, this retreat, this conference cannot be more timely than this time now. Because once we plan ahead, once we set it right, once we get it right, when we put structures in place, I believe we should be able to, as a matter of urgency, checkmate what we have in the nearest future. I want to believe that through this conference also, we'll come out with a proper structure that can actually allow things to work. You see, there are a lot of areas I believe the police force will also look at. It's not just the systems, it's not just the strategy, it's not just the structure, and then the style, the shared values that will also help us drive certain goals that is going to be envisioned, and redefining those standards that is going to be done by the police in this case. I'm, however, sure that with the array of resource persons you have selected, you will come up with solid recommendations that would, in the end, help us live a more peaceful and secure lives. Once again, let me thank you all and welcome you to this beautiful state. You don't need to rush to go, all the police command from different states. I think if you go to other Oyibo country, you do a state tour. We can also arrange a state tour, IGP, so that they can also have a look at what we also have, which can also help in terms of tourism, what we say and what we do and what we are working on and where we are going to. I think that will also help us. So welcome again to Akwa Ibom State. I wish you a happy retreat. God bless Akwa Ibom State. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless the Nigeria Police Force. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the very amiable governor of a great state indeed. Thank you very much. You've been a wonderful host, sir. Let me also use this opportunity to let you know that the small hitch we had during your speech, we apologize for that. You know, in the middle of programs, you usually have commercials. So sometimes when there's power problem, is PSCN's way of placing small commercial, to just let you know that they still exist. All right. Yeah, I'll leave you in the hands of CP Frankenbar to continue.
Your Excellency, it is John Quincy Adams who said many years ago that if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, your acceptance of the IGP's request to host this conference have truly and practically inspired senior officers of the Nigerian Police Force to learn more, to do more, and by God's grace to become more. Therefore, I join the IGP and other very distinguished guests here today to proclaim that indeed, truly, you are a perfect leader. And at this juncture, we are actually getting to the climax of the event, as we will be bringing to the podium the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Chairman, Police Council, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, who is represented by the Minister in charge of Police Affairs, a man who is here in two capacities. First, as a rep of the head of state, and secondly, as a supervising minister in charge of the police affairs. He is Dr. Mohammed Maingari Dingyadi, an accomplished and seasoned administrator, a former super permanent secretary in the services of the Sokoto State Government, former board chairman, National Commission for Colleges of Education, holder of a very revered, influential, powerful, traditional title, Katuka Sokoto. Your Excellency, it is your turn to address this august body, and I have the singular honor and privilege of inviting you to the podium, Dr. Mohammed Maingari Dingyadi, Katuka Sokoto, the Minister for Police Affairs and Rep of the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federation.
In the name of God, the beneficent, the most merciful. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Odom Emmanuel, Your Excellency, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, the Executive Governor of Ekiti State, and the indefectible Chairman of Governors Forum, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Moses Ekpo, Distinguished Senator Haluri Jika, Chairman, Senate Committee on Police Affairs, my brother, Honorable Bello Usman Kumo, Chairman, House Committee on Police Affairs, other distinguished members of the National Assembly here present, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Al-Ghali Baba, the National Security Advisor, ably represented by Sanusi Galadima, the management team of the Inspector General of Police, the Honorable Speaker of Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, the Secretary to the Government of Akwa Ibom State, members of the Akwa Ibom State Executive Council, distinguished conference participants, senior police officers, development partners, resource persons, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Like it has earlier been said, I'm standing here wearing two caps. The first one is that I'm here to represent Mr. President, whom many of you are aware just came into the country yesterday from an international assignment, and has therefore asked me to come and represent him at this very important occasion. My second cap, smaller one for that matter, is that I am the Supervising Minister of the Ministry of Police Affairs. I am therefore highly delighted to represent Mr. President at this very great occasion and to extend to all of you here his warm greetings and his warm regards. As noted by the Inspector General of Police, this event is not only significant in terms of the strategic professional status of the participants, it also offers huge opportunity to critically dissect policing challenges and the current internal security realities with a view to brainstorming and drawing on your expertise and experiences towards mitigating them. Let me at this juncture salute the pragmatic support of His Excellency Governor Udom Emmanuel and the good people of Akwa Ibom State for your strong commitment towards hosting us at this very great occasion. Today's gathering of critical policing minds from the entire police commands nationwide here in OU would not have been possible without the support of our host governor and the peace-loving people of Akwa Ibom State. We therefore appreciate you, Your Excellency, and your people. Since the time we came in here yesterday, we have been treated to wonderful things that have made us to feel at home. We therefore thank you very much for this hospitality, Your Excellency. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, an opportunity, an operationally effective and citizen-driven police force is critical to the advancement of our democratic evolution, national cohesion, and socio-economic development. It is in recognition of this that this administration has prioritized the reform, re-equipment, and re-engineering of the Nigerian police, being the lead and most critical agency in the internal security architecture of our dear country. Indeed, since the commencement of the current democratic journey in 2019, no government has shown so much commitment to the welfare and the institutional advancement of the Nigerian police than the current government of President Muhammadu Buhari. This is evidenced by the presidential assent that was granted to the Nigerian Police Trust Fund Bill and the promptness with which the Board of Trustees was inaugurated. Despite the recent legal issues relating to the trust fund, the reality remains that the fund has evolved to become a veritable means for addressing the age-long funding challenge which has been mitigating against the operational efficiency and the human capacity development of the force. In addition, in order to strengthen the legal framework that regulates policing in Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari also assented to Nigerian Police Act 2020. The new act gives a new impetus to policing and gave legal backing to the adoption of community policing as the internal security strategy for the country, while also making provisions to strengthen the administrative operational frameworks of the force. Furthermore, the federal government also approved the recruitment of 40,000 police personnel over a period of 4 years as a pathway towards addressing huge manpower gap in policing of the nation, which also approving a comprehensive upward review of salaries and allowances of officers of the force across all ranks. The approval also covers the payment of backlogs of death benefits as well as tax exemption for the force. In addressing the logistic challenges of the force on a sustainable basis, President Muhammadu Buhari inaugurated a committee under the chairmanship of Professor Yemi Osibanjo, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to undertake a detailed needs assessment of the force among other security agencies. The initiative is directed at undertaking a holistic evaluation and the quantification of the operational needs of the force with a view to aligning national budget to meeting those needs for the long-term goal of enhancing operational efficiency of the force in a manner that will strengthen citizens' trust in policing system in this country. Similarly, the Office of the Chief of Staff to Mr. President is currently coordinating the Presidential Committee on Nigerian Police Reform in partnership with the Ministry of Police Affairs and the Office of the Inspector General of Police. The objective of the reform is to give a new orientation to police personnel, evolve new policing strategies and operational standards, and to fully integrate other critical components of the society to policing functions. I must recognize at this point the tremendous concern, support, and cooperation which the National Assembly has been extending to the federal government and indeed the Ministry of Police Affairs in particular in our efforts at reforming the Nigerian police. The presence of our two erudite committee chairmen on police affairs in the National Assembly at today's occasion is a very great and clear testimony of this great support. Distinguished and honorable members, we recognize you, we appreciate your support, and I want to assure you that we will continue to partner with you towards improving the services of the police in this country. However, let me note that as lofty as these initiatives are, they may remain unsustainable if all of you gathered here today do not share this vision and do not demonstrate professional commitment to the policing dreams of the federal government. They will also not be as impactful as expected if you do not evolve strategies that will enhance the capacity of senior and the strategic officers towards providing the requisite leadership to advance the policing initiatives of the federal government. This explains why the federal government appreciates the importance of a gathering such as this one that we are doing today. Granted that the theme of this retreat and conference, which is the new police vision, a roadmap for stabilizing internal security, and holding at a time that the country is grappling with threats associated with activities of terrorists, bandits, secessionist elements, and other violent criminalities that are aiming to alter our national values. This retreat could not have been held at a better time than now, and the theme could not have been more apt. It is therefore our expectation that this forum will not only fashion out a clear vision and set of actions that will translate into the stabilization of our internal security order. It is our hope that it will also engender a new policing orientation and focus which will endear the force to the citizens and strengthen the trust and bond between the force and the public and our trust in our quest to present a common front against elements that are threatening our peace, security, and national hegemony. I commend the Inspector General of Police and his management team for this initiative, and I encourage you to sustain the concept of annual retreat and conferences. Towards this end, I assure you of the firm support and the encouragement of Mr. President as you embrace a new vision and provide quality leadership that will advance the reform agenda of the Nigerian police force. Once again, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank our host governor and your colleague, the executive governor of Ekiti State, for sparing your very precious time to be with us today. We sincerely cherished your gesture, and I in particular would want to say that I'm completely humbled and I'm completely accomplished with your words of encouragement and the support that you have assured to be extended to the police today and at all times. We thank you most sincerely for your kind support and for your effort. On this note, Your Excellencies, it is now my singular honor and a pleasure to declare this conference open on behalf of President Muhammadu Buhari, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I thank you all for your attention, and I wish you a very, very fruitful deliberations. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Those were the President's remarks presented by the representative of His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria himself, the Honorable Minister of Police Affairs, Dr. Mohammed Megari Dingyadi. Can we please put our hands together for him one more time, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you. You may please be seated. Your Excellency, Mr. President, here represented, Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this has been the opening ceremony of this conference and retreat for senior police officers taking place here at the Ibom Icon Hotels and Resort in the beautiful state of Akwa Ibom State with the theme, the new police vision, a roadmap for stabilizing internal security. We want to thank the President and Commander-in-Chief for having sent a representative to this event. We thank their Excellencies, the Governors of Akwa Ibom and Ekiti State. We thank the Chairman of the Senate Committee on Police Affairs and his colleague in the House of Representatives. We thank all the resource persons that have come, senior police officers working with the Inspector General of Police to ensure that this event goes seamlessly. We thank through you all the gentlemen of the Nigerian Security Services, especially in this case the Nigerian Police Force, for the very beautiful work that they do, the work of actually staying awake so that the rest of the country can sleep, sometimes having to put their life and themselves on the line for the safety and the protection of lives and property of the citizens of this country. We thank you for your sacrifices. We thank you for the yeoman's job that you have been doing. We're about to round off the opening ceremony for this retreat, and after that we'll take some group photographs. There will be a brief lunch break, and then the participants of this conference will come back for the business session, where the resource persons and development partners have presentations to make as we continue the task of working with the IGP to reposition the police. And then, of course, as was quoted by CP Frankba, the process of learning, unlearning, and relearning, so that we can have a better equipped and more citizen-friendly police force. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, having come to the end of this opening ceremony, may I please request that one more time we all rise for the National Anthem, which will be presented by the police band. Thank you very much. We want to please request His Excellency Mr. President represented, Their Excellencies, the IG, Chairman, Senate and House of Representatives Committees, and Deputy Governor of Akwa Ibom State, representative of the NSA, representative of the Chairman of the EFCC, and then the Force Management Team to kindly join us up here, please, for a group photograph, please. Thank you.
Course participants, just be aware that there's going to be a second group photograph outside where we'll have more space. For now, we just take the number that we can take up here. On behalf of the Inspector General of Police, we want to thank all of you for coming here. We wish you God's mercies and blessings as you return to your respective homes.